The citizens of Freeport had a chance to meet the 5 city manager finalists last night at a meet and greet in the city. Roughly 100 people gathered at Freeport City Hall for a chance to meet the person who will manage Freeport.
So here's what I heard. They're all promising lower taxes, lower fees. Job growth is going to go through the roof. Economic base is going to expand. This is really an exciting night for everybody. So please enjoy the process, enjoy this moment because it truly is historic. So thank you for being here.
After each person applying for the city's highest job gave a little background about themselves, we met with them. We're going to give you a chance to meet each of them. However, the transition committee did meet last night immediately after and narrowed the results down to 3. Of the 5 you're about to meet, the 3 finalists are Lowell Crow, David Nord, and Marquetta Oliver.
Introduce yourself to the happy, friendly folks out there.
Sure. My name is David Nord. I am the former city manager of Dixon, Illinois. Prior to that, 25 years with the village of Cherry Valley on the southeast side of Rockford. I'm very familiar with the area, and when I heard about the announcement for the opening position, I just had to go for it. Now, Freeport has a very cool downtown. I mean, I'm not just making that up. I've been nosing around the community for quite some time. I have an interest in downtowns, and that's why I frequent communities to see what they're doing, see if there's some ideas that I can put into my blog to say, here's something creative that's going on in a community. So the downtown, the amenities as far as the parks, the access is great. The retail development seems to be going strong as far as down on 26, as well as downtown itself, and even on the north side of the corridor in Galena. They're all opportunities to go out and market those empty buildings that are there, get them filled up, and just keep going from there.
My name is Lowell Crow. I'm currently the city administrator of Monmouth, Illinois. I'm familiar with Freeport, but through traveling back and forth through this area, I'm originally from Michigan, but I call Illinois home. I have a son that graduated from SIUC, one that's attending SIUE, and my wife also attended SIUE. So we kind of have roots here in Illinois. I used to live in O'Fallon prior to living in Monmouth. 30 years veteran from the Navy. My last, I had command of a large base in Virginia, as well as a helicopter carrier prior to that, and one other ship while I was in the Navy. I felt very welcomed by both the citizens and the staff as we go forward, and I think the process has been great. I've done this a couple times, and this is very similar to what I've done. Now I take a little bit different perspective when I do I asked the police chief, was my tour guide, and I said, show me the good and the bad. He took me through some of the areas he thought were problem areas, as well as the downtown, showed me the parks. Freeport's at that tipping point, and with everything that's going on, I think this community is about ready to take off, and I want to be a part of that. So,
my name's Casey Bradley. I'm currently Auditor and Chief Operating Officer with Stutzman County, North Dakota, and I've been out there for about 5.5 years. I'm originally from central Wisconsin, and I was in the military for 6 years. After I got back, City of Monroe was actually my first position. Worked there for a couple of years, and then went up to County of Minnesota, and now I'm out in North Dakota. The amount of optimism and the support is very refreshing. I've got an extremely strong background in economic development. I've various communities I've worked with. I've went through a lot of the issues that currently face the city of Freeport. So I think I've got a good, strong background, and very eager to jump in and be a part of this change.
Okay, my name's Greg Sun. I grew up in Crystal Lake, Illinois, and lived there till I was about 18 or so. Then went to school in central Wisconsin, in Stevens Point. And while I was going to school there, I met a guy who had gold mining claims out in the Black Hills in South Dakota. And I started vacationing out there with him. There was a group of about 5 or 6 of us that started doing that. We all decided to move out to South Dakota at the same time. Deadwood is also where I really got into city government. It's similar in size to towns that I've been managing in. Dickinson, North Dakota was about 16,000 when I was hired, and started hitting the oil boom years about the time that I left, so it was growing pretty substantially. Hayes is about 20,000. When I was the county administrator there, that was about 28,000, 29,000. So it's about this same size population. And I like this area. I think it's one of the most beautiful areas of Illinois. It really is. I'm very big into public engagement and getting people involved in their community, and to come here and see that that's already happening is wonderful, because ordinarily it's something that is very hard to get started. And so when you have people who are already engaging in their community, involved in several nonprofit organizations, trying to move the city forward, building on that is a whole lot easier than establishing it.
My name is Marquita Oliver. I'm from Des Moines, Iowa. I have 25 years of experience in city management, and I've been very excited to be welcomed so warmly by everyone here in Freeport. I love the tree-lined streets. I love the beautiful diversity of housing stock. I love the beautiful downtown, and people are genuinely very friendly. Well, I have very sound and good experience in every functional area that's critical for city management: economic development, human resources, finance, and I have significant accomplishments in all of those areas, such as I brought the project to Norwalk of a company that became our largest private employer. That was one of my economic development projects there. So I have that sound, solid background. And the other thing, too, is that I think it's really important for a city manager to be involved in the community. And I'm very involved in all of my communities, in special events and in the chamber. And I think it's important to be collaborative. And that's something I bring to the table, is a history of really good collaboration. I enjoyed the whole day, but the tour was fantastic. I had Crepes Park. They took me to Crepes Park, which was amazing. What an amazing amenity. And I loved the little Cubs field. And so they took me around and showed me all the amenities. And I think I mentioned earlier, I'm just really impressed with the amount of amenities and the quality of amenities that Freeport has. And that shows me that the community is involved, invested, and active. And I think that's really important.
What an incredible evening. So first of all, Mayor Jody Miller, congratulations.
Thank you very much. It's an exciting time for Freeport.
It really is. So here we are tonight at the wonderful, beautiful new City Hall.
City Hall.
And we're meeting 5 new potential.
Yes.
We're going to pick one.
We are picking one.
So talk about the night a little bit.
Well, it started this morning about 7:30. And so we've been here all day interviewing and giving tours to our potential candidates here. Exciting. They are so qualified. To be able to narrow this down is kind of a tough challenge, but it's exciting because I believe that it's going to be a real positive direction for us to go in Freeport. Hopefully tomorrow afternoon we've made our choice. We want to be right in line with the time. So, depending on which one we choose, we're hoping that they could be seated on May 15th, but realistically with, some of them have job commitments that, take them out a little longer. So, they might not be able to get here until sometime in June, but we want to make our decision tomorrow.
How's it feel to be not just the first historic part-time mayor, but the first woman?
You know what? It's exciting, and I'm truly honored, I'm humbled, and I am so thankful for the opportunity to be able to come to the next level to serve the people of Freeport.
Well, it's been a good night, right? So it's historic, it's collaborative, people are coming together. This is an experience that Freeport's never seen, and the process, I think, is an indication of what we can do when we roll up our sleeves, we put aside our political differences, and we just are going to get it done. There's so much at stake to get this right. The mayor and I have been lockstep on this issue. We have worked on this process for 4 or 5 months, and we've not had one no vote. So public members, everyone on the city council, the mayor, we're on the same page. So tonight we're going to discuss who are going to be the final finalists, and then we're going to start doing some interviews tomorrow morning, and we'll see what happens.